Hey friend, I love you. And today I want to talk about the fifth thing I wish I would have known. I have been going through a little series on just the top 5 things that I wish I would have known before I started understanding life coaching and really working on my own brain and understanding myself in a way I hadn't before. So I wanted to start this video just by saying that I love you and really ask yourself, how does that feel when someone says that to you? Like even right then, like if I say I love you, how do you feel about that? I think it's a great question for you to explore, because whether it's easy for you to believe that I love you, whether you think, what a weird girl, it'd be curious to hear, what does your brain tell you when I say it? And that's going to be key to kind of what I wanted to share with you today, because today I want to talk about unconditional love. And this is actually great for me to talk about because it's actually something I can feel in my own heart right now, and where I'm at on my love meter. I have some work to do today as far as unconditional love. So let's just dive in. First of all, can we just agree that everybody just wants to be loved? I really think that's just a basic truth, that all of us, we just have a desire to be loved. It's just kind of within every person. So when you see someone who's really angry or really upset, sometimes just remembering that basic truth, oh yeah, that person just wants to be loved. Or if somebody's seeming really needy and just, I don't know, if somebody's getting on your nerves, it's just good to remember, oh yeah, they want love too. At the end of the day, I think we all just have this deep desire to be loved. So, one of the things that I have learned is that my brain, or my mind, whichever word you want to use, it's not the thing that does the loving. My mind is constantly searching back and forth. It searches for love. It tries to solve problems. My brain judges, but my brain doesn't actually do the loving. This has been really helpful for me to at least view it that way. Now, biologically, I have no idea if your brain can love or not. I'm just saying mentally, this helps me with this concept, especially when it comes to unconditional love. My brain cannot love you. But me, the real me, the deeper part of me that's without the sentences in my head, is love. I feel like the deepest part of me is truth, is love, is all good things. And then I have this human brain that is all over the place. And that's the part of myself I have to manage and work with and deal with. And so I want to tell a story that I grew up, hearing my whole life. And it's from the Bible. I think it's in Luke chapter 15. But I don't want to make any promises on that. But basically, this is just a story that Jesus told. And this story is full of wisdom and genius and insight. And so the way I'm going to describe it here might be different than from some of the sermons you've heard. I'm not saying all the ways we've heard it aren't perfection. They are. I'm just offering a new way that I look at it that helps me, because this is all about trying to grow and help one another out. So, and basically the story is just the prodigal son, and it's about this dad, and he has 2 sons, and one of his sons asks for his inheritance, and he takes it and he runs off, and he just kind of blows his money in a sense. He goes and has fun. He spends it on parties and doing whatever he wants. And finally, he gets to a place where he runs out of money and he kind of reaches rock bottom. And he realizes like he's in a bad situation. And he has this, moment where he's like, even my dad's servants have it better than what I have right now. Let me go back home and see if my dad will let me work for him or something. So he goes home, and it's the perfect picture of unconditional love, because the dad just throws this huge party for his kid. He's just so excited that his son is finally coming home. He just loves him. He could care less about how he spent the money. He doesn't care about what he's done or where he's been or any of the things. He just loves his baby boy, right? And then we have the brother who he's been at home working for his dad. He's been doing the right thing, right? He's been doing things how they're supposed to be done. He has been, just the good kid, right? And when he hears about his brother coming home and his dad has thrown this party and given him like the best that he has, the brother's response is that of anger. He's very upset, and he asks his dad, like, how could you do this? How is it that I have been here working for you, doing all of these things, while your other son, like, he's been out and he just wasted all this money? How is it that you're going to throw a big party for him when here I am, you haven't as so much as given me like a small goat, like you haven't done anything for me? And the father is just so, like, this is the true example of just what love is, because he's just like, everything I have has been yours. You've been with me this whole time. You've literally been lavished in my love. Everything I have is yours. And this is what's so good, because usually we'll find ourselves as one of these two brothers. And I like to think of these two brothers as like our ego. They're the part of our mind that we're either like, okay, I'm going to go, we have the one brother who's like, I'm going to go find love out in the world. I'm going to go find it here, maybe with this person. I'm going to find it in this, substance, whatever. Like we're looking for love. And so we go out and search for it. And then we have the other one who's like, is looking for love as well. And they're like, I'm going to work for it. I'm going to earn it. I'm going to do everything I can so that somehow like I'm going to store up the love. And what's so funny is both of these parts of us, both of these egos, if that's what you want to, how I kind of want to interpret it for the sake of this, they're the same. They're both just trying to find love, when both of them, you can't work for love and you can't find it outside yourself. It is literally the well of love, the Father. And we don't even have to use the word father. Like, this is an example of a father and sons. And if you like to use the example of God and you, beautiful. But if you have problems with those words, change them. This is life in you. This is the true essence of me and my brain, my egos. I believe I have an endless supply of love, because the deepest and truest part of me is that. And then I also have this brain, these ego tendencies that I'm either going to withhold the love, because we have the one brother who he's not going to give love to his brother who ran away. And then we have this other brother who's like just needy and wanting love from anything outside of his true self. He had to leave his own self. He had to leave the truest part of him, hoping he would find the truest part of him, and he couldn't find it. And the other person was with himself, but he wasn't receiving the love that was available to him 24/7. And maybe you will identify with one of the brothers more than the other. I'm going to be completely honest. I am the brother who's mad that his brother went and squandered the money. Like, I withhold love so quickly and so easily because I think things should be a certain way. And as soon as we think things should be a certain way, we're the ones who miss the love. We're the ones who've forgotten it. There's no conditions on love. Love only comes from your own self. It doesn't come from outside of you. It springs up from within you. And so when you cut, like, me loving you has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with me. Because I'm the one that's going to feel love. If I'm going to be like, okay, I love you, I'm the one who gets to feel that love. You get to decide how you want to feel about me or about the people in your life. But if I say I hate you, it has nothing to do with you. I'm the one that feels the hate, not you. So love, anytime we're going to love someone, it's for our own sake. Love will always be better than, I think, any emotion in the planet. Like, I don't think there's an emotion that can serve you better than love. But just notice how we want to withhold love, or we want to search for love outside of ourselves. When it's an innate, I think it's like innate within us. And even today, like, I've really struggled with this because there's a part of me that wants to withhold love even from me. And it's really painful. It feels very justified. It feels very righteous to withhold love sometimes. But it serves no one. It definitely doesn't serve me. And you'll find that it won't serve you either. So, how can we love people if we don't like the things they do? And here's the key, guys. It's a choice. It's a decision. I believe every single person is 100% lovable. Nobody can take away how lovable you are. You are complete. You are whole. You are perfect. You are lovable. Like, all the way. You have all the love within you that you could ever need. My ability to love you, though, is on me. So if I'm like, I love you sometimes, so maybe I'm only at 50% capacity to love you, but it has nothing to do with you or how lovable you are. It has everything to do with me and my capability to love, my capacity to love. Maybe that's more clear. So love is a skill we have to work towards. Like, loving yourself and others is a skill that we have to grow in. It's a skill, I feel like it's the most important skill I have for my life, is learning how to love myself and all the people. And here's the key about myself. I realize when I can love these two crazy ego brothers in my head, just for the sake of the story, when I can love them exactly as they are, I can love the wild, crazy one who just, is trying to find the thing, is trying to find answers and is searching. And then I can love the part of me that wants to judge everything, wants to judge myself, wants to be better. The part of me that wants to be justified, the part of me that wants to be right. How many of us, we just want to be right, and we will die on that hill of righteousness, but miss love. And see, the father in this story, he didn't care. He didn't have conditions. He just loved his kids. It didn't matter if they were good. It didn't matter if they were bad. What does that even mean? You ask 7 billion people their definition of good and bad, and it's going to be different 7 billion times. You're going to get 7 billion different answers. So maybe love just loves. And maybe the biggest key to love is loving for your own sake. It's not even for the other person. It's loving for your own sake. And when I can love me unconditionally, when I can love the fact that I am a human and I'm messy and I'm gonna not do things how I even want to do them. Like, it's like when someone says they hate me, the truth is like I truly understand. Because I 100% know exactly what it feels like to hate me. Like, it's not surprising. It's like, yeah, I totally get that. I totally understand what it's like to hate me because I've hated me plenty of times. I've been a pro at it. If you think you're good at it, trust me, I've been better. But it's so much more fun when I've learned, and I'm still learning how to love me. I'm seeing that, wow, it's truly amazing to just love myself. It's truly amazing to do this work, to practice loving unconditionally. So rather than saying like, I love you, but we just say, I love you. There is no but. It's just, I love you. And listen, love is protective. It's not going to put you in harm. Love knows when to say no. Love knows what to do. Love always knows what to do. So love isn't going to fail you. It's not going to abuse you or mistreat you. Love is going to protect you and keep you safe way better than hate ever will. But it's a skill you have to be willing to practice. You have to open yourself up to it. You have to go past your brain. Sometimes you have to and I direct my brain to love. So I try to think loving thoughts. But it is a skill to unconditionally love someone because we point out the things we don't like in ourselves and in other people. And so now, I love Byron Katie. She actually has a quote that she's like, I just assume, she's like, every room I go into, she's like, I just assume everyone loves me. They just don't know it yet. What a beautiful thought. What a beautiful way to live. So that's what I want to offer you today. Love is always available and love will always be the best option. And you can't always depend on your ego brain it's not going to be the first thing it's going to give you. It's not going to say, oh, let's love this person. Your ego's going to see something it doesn't like and it's going to make sure you know. It's going to put conditions around something. But what if you just said, hold on, I hear you, brain. I hear you, brother. I hear what you're saying. I hear you're trying to work and earn love, or you're trying to find it outside of yourself. But you know what? It's okay. I'm going to step into this father role for myself. I'm going to step into true love. And we're just going to go with that moment by moment. Maybe that makes sense. If it's a little too out there, forgive me, friends. I'm working on having to do some serious love work in my own heart today. And one of the keys for me is always just remembering, anytime I have this deep desire for my mother, I have these days where I'm just like, I just want my mom. My mom passed away 12 years ago. But I know that's always key for me, that I'm not loving myself right now. And I need to step into that love, because my mom was always so good at that. And maybe you have someone in your life who has shown you that type of love. And so I want you to practice how they make you feel. I want you to see that it's not coming from them. It's always coming from the well of love within you. They just remind you of that truth within yourself. That's why we love being around people who do love us, because they remind us of that truth. There's a truth there that we know, we are lovable, that we are love. And so that's why it's so fun to be around people who just make it really easy for us to remember that. All right, I truly do love you. I hope you have an amazing weekend, and I can't wait to talk to you very soon. Take care.